The story begins by introducing us to our main protagonist, named Hodaka, a 16-year-old boy who runs away from his home and moves to Tokyo. On the trip, he almost gets thrown off a ferry when a rainstorm hits it. However, he is saved by Keisuke, an adult man who has Hodaka buy him dinner to repay him. Keisuke gives Hodaka his business card when they reach Tokyo and tells him to get in touch. Now in Tokyo, he spends a few nights at a cyber cafe as he asks online for job opportunities, but is ultimately unable to find a position anywhere due to his status as a minor, so is forced to sleep on the streets. After passing out there, he's awoken by the club's host, who kicks him out and sends him crashing into trash. He finds a package that he later opens as he sits in McDonald's. The package holds a gun, which initially scares him, until he convinces himself that it must only be a toy. He ends up falling asleep in the McDonald's. A staff member gives him a burger out of pity. This is where we first meet Hina. He eats the burger and contacts Keisuke. He is hired as an assistant to his small publishing company. At the office, Hodaka meets Natsumi Suga, Keisuke's niece who Hodaka mistakes as his mistress. Keisuke gives Hodaka the task of helping them investigate the rumors of someone known as the 100% Sunny Girl. Hodaka spends his days cleaning the house and office, interviewing people, and writing stories on supernatural occurrences. While the work is hard and the pay is low, Hodaka finally finds himself living a steady life in Tokyo. One day, Hodaka watches as Hina is being intimidated into working at a sketchy club by the same man who kicked him out before. Trying to act the hero, Hodaka lodges himself at them and grabs Hina's hand, telling her to run away. The club host catches up to him and pins him down, but Hodaka manages to shock him by firing the gun he had found earlier. Hodaka freezes and Hina quickly pulls him away so that the two can escape to a nearby abandoned building. Hina scolds Hodaka, explaining that she needed the job to support herself after being fired from her previous job at McDonald's. He throws the gun on the floor in frustration, seeing that he'd recognized his mistakes. Hina returns and guesses that Hodaka is a runaway before telling him that she wants to show him something. At the building's rooftop, Hina demonstrates her ability to clear the sky by praying, and Hodaka realizes that she is the rumored 100% Sunny Girl. She smiles to confirm his suspicion. She introduces herself to an impressed Hodaka as he does the same, boasting to him that she's 17 and therefore older than him. Hodaka visits Hina at her home and proposes that they start a business together. Hina would provide her mysterious ability to people who want clear weather for special events. Together, they create a website for people to order sunny weather. He meets with Hodaka's younger brother Nagi and learns that since the passing of their mother, Hina and her little brother live alone. They receive orders immediately and quickly get to work, from requests from young children to orders from large companies. Hina, Hodaka, and Nagi work hard to fulfill every order. Hina even receives news coverage as she works her magic above one of Tokyo's tallest skyscrapers during a festival. Afterward, Hodaka and Hina watch the fireworks on the roof of the building, and Hina thanks Hodaka for helping her, and that she really loves being the 100% Sunny Girl. Hina, Nagi, and Hodaka take a job for Fumi Tachibana at her house, clearing the sky for her so that she can light a fire for her deceased husband. Fumi says it's a shame that they're quitting the job, but Hodaka explains that they have no choice since Hina was caught on camera at the festival. Meanwhile, Keisuke and Natsumi continue to investigate urban legends surrounding the mysterious girl who can change the weather. They visit a priest at a shrine who tells them a legend of a weather maiden whose power comes at a great price. Hodaka asks online what the best gift to get an 18-year-old girl would be, receiving no useful responses. Nagi finishes his game and sits with Hodaka. He coaches Hodaka on love as the two discuss Hina together. Hodaka eventually decides to buy a ring for Hina, and heads to a jewelry store to make the purchase. He asks the saleswoman, Mitsuha, if she thinks Hina will like it, to which she responds that she's bound to, considering how long Hodaka took to pick it out, then wishing him luck. At the park, Keisuke and his daughter Mocha are playing together with Nagi as Hina and Hodaka sit and watch them. Hina's last job had been to clear the sky for Mocha so she could go outside and play despite her asthma. The trio talk for a while until Natsumi arrives, at which time Hodaka exclaims, turns to Keisuke and asks him if he'll be in trouble with her since he has a wife. Keisuke laughs at his misunderstanding, and Hina and Natsumi accuse him of being a pervert. Natsumi asks Hina how she's been, telling her of the dangerous sunshine girl rumor the priest informed her of. It gets dark and the rain begins again, so the six depart and split off. Hodaka walks Hina home and struggles to find the right time to give her the ring. As he summons up the courage to pull the ring out of his pocket, a violent wind blows past him and he braces himself. When he opens his eyes, Hina is floating in the air. She comes back down to him and Hodaka notices that parts of her hand and arm are as transparent as the rain. Hina tells him that this is part of the burden that comes with being the 100% sunny girl. Back at Hina's apartment, the two of them dry off when police show up looking for Hodaka. Hina tells them she has never seen him, but the police say that Hina and her brother are too young to be living alone. The police say they'll return some other time with social care workers to have a chat. Hodaka meets up with Keisuke, who tells him that the police came to his office as well and they were sent by his parents. Keisuke pays him all his owed salary in full and tells him to go home. Hodaka decides to run away with Hina and Nagi, but the weather worsens even more abnormally as it starts to snow. On the streets, the three are apprehended and Hodaka is caught by two police officers as he attempts to run away but is saved by Hina, who distracts the police by praying for lightning to strike nearby. This then allows the trio to escape to a hotel. They spend the night with instant food and singing karaoke. Hodaka finally has some alone time with Hina and summons up the courage to give her the ring he bought her. She is happy and loves the gift, but immediately devastates Hodaka with bad news. Hina confesses to Hodaka that her body is slowly being turned into water. The weather will only return to normal if she disappears permanently into the clouds. Hodaka puts the ring on Hina's finger, refusing to let this happen and promising to protect her. The two embrace each other crying. The next day, Hodaka wakes up and Hina is nowhere to be found. The police break into the room and Hodaka and Nagi are taken to the police station. On the way, Hina's ring drops from the sky onto the ground. Hodaka picks it up and realizes she must have gone to the fabled world above the clouds. He learns from the detective that Hina is actually 15 years old and she lied about being 18 to try to act more adult. At the police station, he begs the detective to let him go to save Hina, but the detective doesn't believe him. Hodaka runs out of the police station with numerous officers on his tail. Natsumi comes to his rescue on a motorbike and tells him that Nagi called her. Hodaka guides her to the building with the red gate on the roof. On the way, they reach a dead end where the roads are completely submerged in water from the typhoon. Hodaka continues on foot and runs along the train line to get to the building. He arrives at the building and finds Keisuke there, who tries to convince him to return to the police station. As Keisuke drags Hodaka out of the room, he bites him on the arm and pushes him away. Hodaka finds the gun he had thrown on the ground from the last time he and Hina were there. He picks it up and points it at Keisuke. The police storm in and restrain Hodaka. Keisuke feels an overwhelming rush of sympathy for Hodaka and fights the police off of him. Nagi also arrives at the building and helps Keisuke fight off the police. Hodaka runs to the roof of the building where he hurriedly jumps through the red gate. He is then transported above the world in the sky and finds Hina. The two fall through the sky, desperately trying to reach each other. Hodaka tells her he doesn't care about the rain. He doesn't care if Tokyo is forever plagued by cloudy skies and that he loves her. The police find the two of them asleep under the red gate. Hodaka is sent back to his hometown. Over the next 3 years, Tokyo remains under constant rain and becomes almost completely submerged in water. Hodaka, who has been on probation, graduates from high school and immediately returns to live in Tokyo to attend university. He meets up with Keisuke, whose business has expanded into an office. While walking the same path he and Hina used to walk, he sees a young girl in a high school uniform clasping her hands with her eyes closed. Hodaka calls out to her with tears in his eyes. She runs to him and the two embrace each other. Thanks for watching. Comment below what anime I should do next and don't forget to like and subscribe.